Leo friends, welcome. I'm going to do your heart spread for mid September. Mid-September. Time, I think where we get our information from the guides and spirits on the other side, in my experience, direct experiencer, the big discovery was, whoa, there's no time here. So that's why I think it's kind of, I don't know. We're asking Spirit, yes, give us a relatively soon. We want to get a beat on where we're going to be here. And that's the problem with manifestations too. It's like we might get what we want when it leaves the 5D station on the astral train, I call it, heading our way. Hell, we might see it a day later. We might see it a decade later. It doesn't really travel the way we think of time. All right, guys, join me for this whole family read, a collective read if you haven't checked it out. This is your heart spread. We're going to look at you and your person here and kind of where you guys are at, get some advice and some advice from Spirit on the outcome and advice for the relationship. Just put a little bit of energy on here. I've already shuffled. And I'm going to clarify with the Klimt art deck. You can see one of the cards here. It's quite evocative, this one. It's all based upon this artist's work. Klimt, and I've done a reading. I did a reading with it. I've done some personal readings with it, where I don't mind slowing down, taking my time. But it's just so much to it. I'm a wordy bastard anyway. So, but that's great for clarifying because it gets me there. And, okay. This is you, Leo, where your mind is at and where your heart is at and around relationships here. Mid-September time frame. King of Cups, okay. This is one of the best cards, in my opinion, you could get in this number 1 or number 2 position, which shows your disposition around love and relationships right about now. And I try to look at this as kind of about you more than having to do with anybody else. So, and we'll look at the number 2, sort of getting an idea where their head is at naturally before they think about you or you think about them. Emotionally available, emotionally intelligent, and in some fashion you're probably a more mature person. You've mastered your emotions in some fashion here. This is why I say it's a fantastic. I'm a Cancer moon. I was just thinking for this reading, as I was shuffling the cards and I was kind of getting into this, thinking Leo, and I made notes about one astrological position. Remind me, somebody raised their hand, so don't forget to touch that real quick, But I was like, God, why is a relationship so important to a Sagittarius? We're not supposed to be like this, Leos are probably more naturally relationship oriented. But, in this position, it's like if you're cross-watching, you're a lucky bastard. And, you could be banging a lot of Cancer energies often comes with Leo. Very most likely be your water. Then, of course, you could have any moon or rising. Give yourself a water moon. I'm a Sag with a Cancer moon. That Cancer moon owns me, and I don't really mind. I love her. Now your person's coming in with the 5 of Wands. So this, I also compare, this is like the first house in astrology, and this is your 7th house, your mirror, your person. That could be a fire sign, I don't know. We're talking about fire signs here. They would be surprised to turn out to be a Leo. The Spirit I trust usually leads me in that direction for a reason. But this is great energy to come in with to a relationship. Boy, this is like just about one of the worst. I mean, 5 of Swords, even I often see as being much worse. You see, these are, you always point out, they're just kids and they're training to be killers in a few years as, their hormones pop off. So I still see it as it's not the kind of vicious fighting that I believe often. I don't know, with the 5 of Swords, I could get violence depending how it hits me. But with this is somebody that's combative and argumentative, and this is shit from past relationships. And you know, maybe the reason they have past relationships, you could say, is because maybe it's because they're kind of argumentative by nature. And astrology, you often see this around a Mercury, which is not unusual to be very close to the sun, called conjunct the sun. And these are people that can pontificate. I'm going to take that. They can pontificate a lot, you know, and be not only that, be egotistical, argumentative, cut people off, self-centered, and this kind of thing. And defensive, that's the key, very defensive. So easily triggered. And being that they're ones, this person will then act out about it. You know, it's not just that they were sword, maybe the only good thing about it. They might just go on in their head where they're kind of slicing you to pieces. But you know, it might come out in communication too. But man, I tell you what, are you coming on strong with the King of Swords? Now, this is your reaction to the person. Now, I didn't even know this was King of Swords. I know I didn't pay attention, okay? But how would you react to a person like that? Because this shows how you react to this person you're thinking of. Now, as a King of Cups, you're calm and you're, you know, pretty sensitive, even if you're a man, you know. It's like I got a Cancer moon, I'm practically a woman. So you're banging that feminine, divine feminine energy, you know, you're still king and you're not to be played with, you know. But now come into King of Swords, and the King of Swords here draws boundaries and speaks out. The King of Swords doesn't ever sit back and not say what needs to be said. And I believe this is exactly how, just psychologically, how would you react to someone who's combative and argumentative out of the chute, kind of by nature, no? And they're not taking it well, guys. I get the sense with your person, and this has not to do with tarot. They were bullied when they were little. Fuck me, it's a male. I get the sense of a male. And this person, you know, I don't think they've done a lot of deep thinking. I don't think they've had therapy or anything like that. And I think this got to them very badly. So it's issues around self-esteem and not feeling good enough and shame. And, you know, I think this Five of Wands is taking action. You know, they're acting out, and that means doing something. Doing something could be keying your car. Doing something could be, you know, physical, okay? But definitely they're making it very clear. And my question here, I'm going to keep this in my mind as I go along, Leo, is why are we doing this reading? Because it just looks like, okay, we're done here. Let's move on. That was a good reading, Leo. You put this person in their place. They went wah, and okay, probably a good thing. Because who needs this? You don't want this in a relationship. You don't. I don't. Maybe if you're like it up, back it up a second. If you're an Aries Venus, you might actually kind of like this. But, you know, you ain't got an Aries Venus. That would be impossible, Leo. So, let's see. This is your advice. Jesus, could this be more clear? This reading is like, just like a cartoon. It's so direct. Seven of Wands, defending the castle. This is, I often say, it's always righteous, pretty much always righteous defense of the castle, asserting boundaries. So, again, wands are actions. So, I don't know, guys. I hate to do these kind of readings, but this could be your advice is do not take off the table, or maybe the advice is to actively take action to protect yourself. Now, if it's not that very directly, as in the restraining orders and alarms type of protection, it's coming under the King of Swords particularly. It's sort of then, you know, look, the King of Swords, I don't do these together. The King of Swords is you reacting to them, and you're like, oh, hell no, you did not just say that to me. I mean, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Seriously. No one talks to me like that. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like that. And then this is the advice from Spirit, and it's saying, back that shit up. Back the talk up. And Spirit's not pugnacious. It's concerned about you because this is your reading. It's concerned about you. Loves you. Okay? So when I say back that shit up, it means Spirit saying back that shit up for your own protection. Let's see what's going on. Ten of Swords. Now let's look at this together. This is your person reacting to you, probably because you did what I said. This is your reading. Talk to me, somebody. Leave a message. I'd like to know if it resonates. Three of Swords, not reacting well to you in the relationship, how they react to you in the relationship. Their advice from Spirit is, I don't know if you're cross-watching. I'd love it when people share these readings with their lovers, if it resonates, and say, hey, I try to come from a loving place. I'm just here trying to be a hollow bone, and I know damn well that when it comes to tarot, it's coming from Spirit. And Spirit is always here to love us and to help us. And the advice for your person is like, they really got to let this go mentally. And, you know, I very rarely say this. I started the therapy when I was 17 years old on my own. No one told me to do it. Paid for it with my own money. Okay, I was still in high school. So they need to, or I swear to God, if you can find a good astropsychologist, if you're in a metropolitan area, I do this, it's how I work anyway, but there are actual psychologists that are licensed that are also astrologers, and in my opinion, you can cut through like a hot knife through butter. I mean, I don't know how. I've been in therapy all my life. I got the degree in psychology. But when I discovered astrology late in my life, I was like, oh my God, how do therapists do it without, I mean, if they just had the natal chart, if you had a time, I mean, a year's worth of psychotherapy is over in a good astrologer in 5 or 10 minutes. Look, really. And then imagine having that chart as you're doing therapy. I'm going off too much, but this really needs to be attended to. You know, and I was asking, okay, it was a serious question because I don't really know. I was about to clarify on my own question. I can do anything I want. Do what I want. I've been telling Saturn that for years. It's been working out for me, but fuck you, Saturn. Okay? But to clarify, I was going to pull is, why are we even having this reading? Because why are you still thinking of this person? So I don't see it here at all because all I see is a conflict. There's got to be something about them that really appeals to you. Since you're coming as a King of Cups, you know, you might be having a savior complex, you know. And the 7th house over here is where we project unconscious material. So think about that, because I'm just really curious as to why you would be still thinking of this person like they got into you. Unless you're just purely thinking of them because you're kind of afraid. That could be, let me know. I really don't, I go where the cards take me. Sometimes I get things, and I definitely go where that takes me. I don't want it to be negative, but I want it to also be helpful. Wow. I just heard they got a chance. That's what I heard. They got a chance. Kind of like that. They got a chance. As soon as I saw I guess that's just my own mind, right? But the Magician, advice from Spirit for the relationship as a whole. This is all kinds of helpful. This is the highest octave of the Magician because this is coming as advice from Spirit, okay? It's not a warning here. This is advice for this relationship as a whole. And it's coming between the 7 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. And just look at, this is a great Magician. Okay, look at this card. If you use everything you got, you know, your mind, swords, you use your emotional, you really need to get your emotions in check because this could be a rough ride, in my opinion. I'm going with Spirit here, though. You take action as you need to take action. You know, taking action here, too, could be you're going to have to be brave. And you put in, you invest yourself in it, your resources if you have to, whatever it takes. Because this is what this is, whatever it takes. But it's Spirit saying that if you do whatever it takes, you can have temperance, the outcome. And I know it's going to be a positive outcome. This is Sagittarius card, thank you very much. But, you know, temperance is a fantastic card to have an outcome. And then, look, it looks to me like it's a little scary, this situation. And I'm like, until I saw the magician, and I heard they got a chance, it's like, why are we doing this? I don't understand. But Spirit understands. There's always, you guys don't get too excited. You guys could have a lot of karmic shit you got to work out. So I've learned, soulmates are not necessarily a great thing, Well, from your soul's point of view, it's a great thing. But for us personally, it can be a motherfucker sometimes. But this has all kind of positivity all over it. This has all kind of hope. I mean, it's all about hope, temperance. It's Sagittarius card, man. And it's full of fire, so there's passion. God, I see you guys working together, here. And I tell you, I feel this divine intervention. Like, that's why you're hanging in there. Because you just know. The King of Cups could know too. This is the emotional, the King of Cups, Yeah, he's in line to become the Hierophant one day. Yeah. So, you could be a very high functioning Leo. It's emotionally very grounded and everything. That's really going to serve you well in this adventure. But leading to temperance. Temperance is fantastic when everything's just all right. You get everything just balanced, and everything's cool because there's really no problems, and you just wake up and you're happy to be alive. You go about your life. This is temperance. It's fantastic energy. So the only thing I can say about this, you being rewarded for facing both of you, maybe your own fears, your own greatest difficulties, and I definitely see you, Leo, with two kings. If you're cross watchers here, I'm just going to say it like this. They need to thank you, and they kind of need to obey you. And I know that you're not going to abuse that because you're the King of Cups. Okay? Because they need help. And you can't help them, but you can help them along with someone else helping them, a professional. And I don't know how to say it, it's getting a little emotional. I don't want to say it's your person's only hope, but it's only hope they've ever had. Absolutely can say that. They probably deep down, I don't know if they even would articulate this, but they probably wouldn't even believe there was any hope for them in this regard. And this is resolving this very, very deep, soul wound. But chances like this, cross-watcher, they don't come along. I don't think they're going to hit you over the head every year of your life. Come along once in a while. So take this, Leo, seriously. Guys, thank you.